Good evening. My name is Jeremy Martinez, and I'm here today to talk to you about the South Korean culture. What I want to achieve by doing this is for you not only to know about the topics I'm going to develop today, but also for you to know how can you link those topics and how will achieve that well. First, I begin telling you some things about the South Korean education system. Then I move on and tell you about the wild culture in South Korea. And lastly, I wanna tell you about the plastic cash in South Korea. So, without anything more to say, South Korea, here we go. The South Korean education system has a cultural status and it's considered a necessity for having better job opportunities. Thanks to this, South Korea is considered to be one of the most important countries in Asia. According to an article made by AsiaDonde.com in 2021, it says that the education system is divided in three parts: 6 years in primary school, 3 years in secondary school, and lastly, 3 more years in bachelor. They have a really standardized plan in which boys and girls both learn about technology and domestic sciences. They also have lessons of 15 minutes each with recess and a lunchtime. Every student has a requirement of assistance of 220 days minimum. School calendar is divided into semesters. The first one goes from March till July, and the second one goes from September till February. Kindergarten is optional, but primary school is mandatory, and it is also for free. Lastly, we have the high school, which starts from the age of 12 years old. And they have in high school a large study plan. They also not only learn about technology and domestic sciences, but also art, music, languages, math, social studies, physical education, etc. Now that I've told you some things about the South Korean education system, let me move on to my next topic, the wild culture. According to an article made by expansion.com, it says that South Korea is a country that is always developing something, and it is always in the high rankings about technology. An example of this is the 5G internet connection system. They have it since 2019. They have the internet connection of 5G since 2019. And they also the first to have an electronic market. And this electronic market, people, moves me to my last point, which is the plastic cash. You see, thanks to the South Korean government technological advances, they've decided to move on from from the real coin. Why, you ask? Well, um, for the South Korean government, it costs, according to Sataka.com, it cost like $47 million to just create the currency, the coin. Haki. This coin, it costs like, to create this in South Korea, it costs around $47 million, according to Sataka.com. Because of this, they've decided to save up that money, and using the electronic market they have, they've decided to use more the credit cards and also their debit cards and phones to pay things. You see, in South Korea, you can use your phone to buy things. According to expansion.com, the 70% of the population do online shopping. And it's interesting because the shops in South Korea cannot deny a debit card, a credit card, or a phone to pay things. They can deny it because it's by law. Because thanks to the South Korean government technological advances, they decided to move on. So this coin we have here as an example, it's practically non-existent. So to conclude, let me make first a recap. We just now heard some things about the South Korean education system. Then we saw some things about the wari culture and how this wari culture affected the plastic cash. So the question here is, how can all these three topics link to each other? Well, that's easy because of technology. Since high school and primary school, students learn and people learn about their country, technology, etc. Because they learn about technology, they also learn about how can you use their phones to pay every single thing and how to use their credit cards. And they teach also how to save up money. And they learn that they can use their phones not only for sharing, but also to buy things like groceries, clothes, etc. And I think it's really interesting. So to recap, we just saw South Korean education system, war culture, and lastly, the plastic cash. And to conclude, let me first of all say thank you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you. I want you to know before we end this presentation that it's my dream to go to South Korea one day and live there. And I hope someday to fulfill that dream. Have a blessed day, night, or afternoon. And I hope I'll see you again soon enough. Have a wonderful day, and I hope this presentation was from your liking, for your liking. Bye-bye.